Plaintiff Kabani Harshaw says the defendant was her favorite uncle until he stole from her to support his crack addiction. Kabani's suing her uncle today for the stolen money. Defendant Francis Woolen says Kabani is nothing but a drama queen, and he cannot believe she's making up lies about him using crack.
All right, prove your case.
Well, this is my Uncle Francis. I am supposed to be his favorite niece.
Which you are.
And he was my favorite uncle until he stole from me to support his crack habits.
I'm not a crackhead.
How do you know he's on crack?
Yes.
Or a crackhead?
Well, my aunt told me that she walked in on him smoking crack in her living room.
This is his sister?
No, that's his wife.
That's a lie.
Oh.
Me and my wife been together 32 years.
Has your wife ever accused you?
No.
That's a lie.
How would you know?
First accusation you've ever heard?
Yes.
That you were a crackhead?
Except when she started calling and telling me and telling other people that I was a crackhead and a thief.
Why do you think she's telling people you were a crackhead?
Because that's just the way she's made up. She's a drama queen. When something happens, she gets all out.
Why couldn't she think of something else to call you?
I have no idea. I wish she had her.
Plaintiff Kabani Harshaw is suing her uncle, who she claims stole from her to support his crack addiction.
Go ahead.
But as I was saying, he was my favorite uncle until he started stealing from me to support his crack habits.
Started stealing.
Sir?
And he is always preaching about Jesus and what would Jesus do. Jesus don't steal, and Jesus don't smoke crack. So that's why I'm telling him, like, and then, okay, February of
let's leave
2010.
Jesus' name out of this, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You can talk about some of these preachers that smoke crack or crystal meth. Who was the man, the head of the evangelicals? Now, he was caught smoking crystal meth. So, and practicing, with prostitution and practicing homosexuality and all the other things that preachers preach against. So we can talk about somebody like that if you want to compare him to any religious association because of his profession of his faith.
Yes,
you
sir.
profess that you are a Bible-toting Christian?
I'm a Christian.
All right. You don't tote the Bible?
I carries it. I carries the Bible, but
Well then,
yes.
I would say I'm a Bible-toting Christian.
I'm a Bible-toting Christian.
You're having a hard time saying that. Go ahead, man.
Okay, anyway, Your Honor, I was at the defendant's house February of 2010. And while I was visiting, he was telling me that he was about to start his own business doing taxes or whatever. And he asked me that if I knew anybody that still needed theirs done, or if I helped him out by bringing him clientele, then when it came time around for me to file my taxes, that he would either charge me less or nothing at all, depending on how many people that I brought to him.
Okay.
So I ended up letting him do my taxes.
Now, had you heard he was a crackhead by then?
No.
Okay.
Okay, now last year he stole from me also, but I don't have anything to prove that, so that's why I'm suing for this year. Okay. And this year, when he did my taxes, only reason we're here today is because I was starting school and they needed my tax return papers. So I called him and I was like, do you think you can send me those papers because they need them for me to start school? And he was like, oh, well, my computer got messed up and my hard drive got messed up. So it ain't no way that I can get that. The only persons I have left was the last person that I did. Like, so I don't have your information, but I could type something up for you real quick and you could take that to him.
Really?
So I was like, no, like I need the real paper. My mom was like, no.
Did you ever get it?
No, sir, I didn't.
All right, let me hear from him, and then we'll get back to the specifics.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. This is my niece, and that's absurd that she calls me a crackhead and a thief. But as she did come out, and I did her 09 taxes, the one that she says that she couldn't get any proof from, which I have something here from IRS.
Is that what you were referring to when he was unable to give you proof? Was it for your 09 taxes?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, I have
and
the
you
old.
say you did give her proof?
No, I didn't say I gave her proof.
Oh,
no,
then that's what we're talking about.
Okay, well, she never.
Don't come with these crackish ways. Now, I don't know whether you're on crack or not, but that sure was a crack move.
Oh, well.
Let me go back to her. Nobody gonna listen to this. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so I called him and requested for the papers for him to send them to me, and he kept saying that he couldn't because his hard drive was messed up. So I asked him, like, should I call the IRS? He was like, no. You can't call the IRS. They got, I got an account with them, and you got to have a code in order for you to call them. So, and you don't got my information, so it ain't no way that you can get that information. And he was like, so like I said, I'm gonna get everything together for you, and I'm gonna send you your papers. I said, okay. Now, my mom was sitting there with me while I was talking to him or whatever, and she was like, just call the IRS. And so when I called the IRS, what he did was he spelled my name wrong, so that if I did call, it'll make me look like I'm trying to do something foul.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my date of birth was different also. So I talked to the lady at the tax place, and I was asking her, like, could she tell me my return for 2010? And while I was on the phone with her, I asked her for 2009 too. But my return for 2010 was for...
Did she give you a copy of your return?
Yes, sir.
Let me see it.
Okay, and when she was telling me on the phone how much I got back, I was just telling her, like, he didn't give me that much back.
They told you received this?
Yes, sir.
And it went to him?
To his account.
They told you received $27.47.
Yes, sir.
And you received how much from him?
$1,300 in cash. And when she told me my return, when she told me how much I got back on my return, that's when I was like, dang, he ain't give me that much. And the only reason I had my money deposited into his account, because he said, if you get it in the check form, they're gonna charge you $200 to $300 to cash your check anyway. So if I put it in my IRS account, you won't have to pay nothing.
So what did he give you exactly?
$1,300 back in cash. But he called me and told me that I was supposed to get back $2,000. Still didn't tell me the truth.
Plaintiff Kavani Harshaw is suing her uncle, who she claims stole from her to support his crack addiction.
Sir?
Yes. I really don't know how to address. I don't know how to address all those last that Kavani just said.
I have give you two. If you act like it's too much for you to remember, just let me give you a very easy one. She says that the IRS reported to her that you were given $2,747 on her behalf as a tax refund, and that you only gave her $1,300 of that money. Do you understand what just came out of my mouth?
Yes, I do, sir.
All right.
Yes, I do.
That's what you need to address.
Yes, I do. Yes, she did
Let's
get
address that.
She got an amount of return. Kavani, I did her taxes.
How much?
In 2010, she got a return for $27.47. In 2009, she got a refund.
No. We're talking 2010.
2010.
$27.47.
Yes.
Did you transfer that money to her?
I transferred $1,300 to her.
Why? Why didn't you give her all her money?
Because it was a fees involved. I explained.
What fees?
The fee was $700.
For what?
That for 2010.
For what?
For doing her taxes.
Okay,
taxes. She had a business.
$700 for taxes.
Right.
All right. We're still $747 short.
That was my mistake.
So the other was a mistake.
No.
No, was it a mistake or not?
Yes.
Did you agree to pay him $700
No,
to
sir.
do your? How much did you even make that year?
$10,000.
$10,000?
Yes, sir.
And so for an income of $10,000 to do your taxes, which you could have done yourself,
I didn't
he
know.
charged you $700. So he says, but you never agreed to that. Did
No,
he ever
sir.
tell you he was charging you $700?
Sir, he
Your
told me it
Honor.
was going to be free because I brought
I
him so
don't
much
want to hear
clients.
nothing else from you. You act like a crackhead in
She
here.
didn't-
I
she
believe you are, just like she says. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I am sorry that we had to go through this, and I'm sorry that I had to bring you to court, but I was in need of my money.
But Kavani, you didn't tell the total truth, but I love you anyway.
I don't think I could trust him. This is the second time around. I can't trust him.